Hello and welcome. This video is to cover some of the modifications done to a 2023 Toyota 4Runner Limited that I purchased in April of 2025. I purchased this vehicle down in Florida in excellent shape. It's clean, no rust, and so we picked it up and drove it back to Massachusetts, about 1,300 miles, and with no issues. So some of the modifications I began with were in the front. I found this grille with Raptor lights included on eBay. Um, some light bezels, blackout light bezels, as well as the Morimoto headlights that I found on Facebook Marketplace. But I just wanted to touch on this grille for just a second. So in the directions, the Raptor lights have wires, some fragile, somewhat fragile wires that run into the engine bay and go into a fuse. The directions are to connect it with the ignition fuse. However, I ran into some issues with that. So on a trip, a long trip up to New Hampshire, everything went fine. But on the way back, as soon as I got home, uh, the car just shut down and it wouldn't restart. And long story short, that fuse had come loose and the ignition was no longer connected. So I took it to the mechanic. He figured it out. Just had to push it back in. But the suggestion would be maybe choose a different fuse. I moved it over to linked up with the headlight fuse, so it's not connected with the ignition at all. Moving around, we have a short antenna. I had to replace the antenna when I bought this. So the one suggestion I would say with this is for the base, purchase OEM, because the ones I purchased on Amazon just fell apart in my hand as soon as I was trying to put it on there. Another modification you can see here is the AC condenser drain. It is good to extend that so it's not dripping onto the frame. And then for the suspension, in addition to the X-Reyes, the Elite, I added Billstein 5100s. So there's three selection ride heights for the front. I think it's 0.75, 1 point, or 0.85, 1.75, and then 2.5. And I went right in the middle at 1.75, which some say is a little bit higher than evening out the ride, but I actually enjoy the 1.75. Moving over to the rims, it came with the 20-inch limited rims, which I liked, and I left them on there for a little while. But then I found these TRD rims on Facebook Marketplace. They came with very large tires, I think 285s. That's a little bit too big for my setup. So I found these tires, which are 255 75 17s off of a Bronco, and they fit perfect. They're a little bit narrower, but taller, and they ride just like the OEM tires. So if we look under at the frame came in very good condition. It's never seen Northeast winter before, so I decided to use a surface shield. I was able to uncoat the whole frame inside and out for about $60. And I know it looks like I put a ton on there, and I probably put too much, but it went well. A couple of small little updates I got off of Amazon. It was a blacked out limited badge and the blacked out door handles. We'll come back to that Sherpa rack right there. I also did have some AVS window shades, but I removed them. I didn't really like them that much. On the back, continuing with the blackout theme, on Amazon, I purchased some paint, hot rod satin paint, and was able, while it was still on the car, was able to paint this. I taped everything up, covered everything up, and I think it turned out very well. The paint's holding up really nicely. On the back, I also changed out this rear window seal. Again, I would encourage go OEM for that. The aftermarkets are just not the same quality. And then I purchased on Facebook Marketplace for maybe $40 or something these 2015 and up tail lights. Now I did go for the roof. I did go for the roof rack delete for a while until I found this on Facebook Marketplace that a gentleman was selling for a very good price. Again, with the OEM delete, I'd be careful with the Amazon, the cheap brands, because when I took off the delete package and put on this rack, it was already leaking, or not leaking through, but not protecting it well at all. So I'd be careful with which roof rack delete you purchase. So also on the side, I trimmed the rocker panels and added these. Um, vinyl wrap material to the chrome on the side. T4R Garage has a really good video about how to trim the rocker panels on a limited model. On the inside, very minimal modifications. This is my favorite phone mount so far for the 4Runner. A few blackout covers, as well as an aftermarket TRD shift knob and LED lights that really at night really brighten up the inside of the cabin. Again, I'll put links to all these in the description. Then last but not least, one of my favorite upgrades from Amazon as well was a remote starter. So just tap on the lock button 3 times and it starts right up. So I hope this was somewhat helpful. I know it was a challenge for me to find some of these things, and I was unsure about the installation and quality of them. But for these items, I have been happy with them. So please let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to comment. Thanks for watching.